Alright, when you arrive on scene and we're going through the COVID-19 quick reference card, these are the questions that you're going to be asking. So the first question, has anyone here had a fever recently?
No. You haven't had a fever, have you, son?
No.
Okay.
Okay, has anyone had a headache?
Do you have a headache?
No.
Nope.
What about symptoms of respiratory illness?
He seems to have been okay lately.
Okay, no thick mucus in his lungs or anything like that?
Have you been coughing up anything nasty?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, and no sore throat or difficulty breathing?
No.
Okay. Have you had any diarrhea?
No.
Ugh.
Have you lost or had any change to your smell or taste?
No.
Have you tested positive for COVID-19 or been around anyone that's tested positive for COVID-19?
No.
So at this point, you can say that it's safe enough to clear the area and make entrance in using the appropriate PPEs that's still required.
What we got?
So he's over there.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
So when you approach on scene, the first thing you want to do is make sure that the scene is safe and you have the proper BSI equipment on. So you approach the patient, you're going to tell him, "Hello sir, I'm here with Evergreen Fire Department. My name is Paul. What's your name?"
Dylan.
Dylan, nice to meet you. What's going on today?
I was running and I fell and my ankle hurts horribly bad.
Okay, you were running and you fell. So then at this point, what I'm going to do is while I continue to talk to him, I'm going to reach down here and feel for a radial pulse. So this is just going to give me a rate and make sure that it's not too slow or too fast. This is just going to be my baseline. So as I check the pulse, I'm going to ask him, how long ago was it that you fell?
About an hour ago.
And that's where we're going to start the OPQRST. So that's the onset question of OPQRST. Next, we're going to go to provocation. Okay, is there anything that makes this better or worse?
Yeah, when I stand.
Okay, can you describe the pain to me that you're feeling here?
It's a sharp pain.
Okay, so that's your OP and Q. The next one's going to be radiation. Does the pain move anywhere else in your leg, or is it just right here?
Just right there.
Right there, okay. On a scale of 0 to 10, how bad is this pain?
12.
A 12, okay. And then, about what time was it that you would say that you fell?
About an hour ago.
Okay, so that finishes up the OPQRST portion of your initial questioning for them. Moving on through the sample, you're going to say, okay, are you allergic to any medications?
No.
Are you allergic to any food or drink?
Yes, I'm allergic to nuts.
Okay. And these questions are very broad, so they're not really going to help with this injury, but it's still good to know coming into this. Next, you're going to say, do you take any medications?
No.
No. And if someone does take medications, what you're going to want to do is ask them, do they take them as they're prescribed and what medications those are? Next, you're going to ask, what's the last thing that you had to eat or drink?
I had a protein shake about an hour ago.
Okay, you got a protein shake about an hour ago. Have you been able to drink enough water recently?
Yes, I drank a gallon 2 or 3 hours ago.
Okay. And then you're going to say, has anything ever happened to your leg before? And that's going to be the P part of your sample, and it's going to be pertinent history to the event that's going on right at this moment.
Occasionally I have shin splints.
You have shin splints? Okay. Any other problems?
No.
Okay. And then the events leading up to this, you're going to make sure this is where you're going to figure out what caused them to fall. Did they just slip and fall, or was there something medical going on? So you're going to say, how did you end up falling and hurting your leg today?
I slipped on some loose rock on the ground.
Okay. Did you ever feel lightheaded or dizzy or anything?
No.
Okay. Then at that point, that's going to finish up your OPQRST and your sample history and kind of give you a good base point of what's going on today. And then at that point, you're going to want to start taking your vital signs. So a good place to start with that is going to be your blood pressure. So you're going to make sure that you have the appropriately sized cuff, whether it's pediatrics or even sometimes really small adults might need a smaller cuff. And you're going to put it on their upper arm right here, and you're going to make sure that this is lined up properly where it says artery. You're going to tighten it. Get your stethoscope. And you're going to want to make sure that their arm is nice and relaxed, that you can properly see your numbers right here on your dial. And then at this point, put your stethoscope right on the artery like this, make sure that their arm is relaxed. A good place to start is to inflate the cuff to 200 and then slowly let it down, listening for that first sound. And then once you hear the first sound, keep going until you hear that second and last sound. And then make sure you write that number down so that you can give it to the ambulance when it arrives. From there, you should already have your radial pulse and about how long it takes. A good time period to take that is approximately 10 to 15 seconds, and then average that out over a minute. Potentially, you might be able to have an SpO2 monitor that you can put on their finger that'll give you an actual rate, as well as their oxygen saturation, as well as a thermometer to make sure that they don't have a fever or anything like that. From there, you can kind of keep them in a position of support, do what's in your scope of guide, and wait for the ambulance to arrive.
So what we got?
You have a patient over there. His name is Dylan. He's 21 years old. He was running and he fell today. He has isolated right leg pain. His vital signs are 120 over 80. He has a pulse of 80 and it's regular. Does not have a fever, and his oxygen saturation is 95%.
Rad, thanks, man.